Want to bring more personality to your lead vocal? Use this technique. In this video, we're going to be going over vocal doubles and how they can bring out the personality of a vocal. I'm going to finish up tuning my lead vocal, then we're going to make vocal doubles out of our lead vocal comp. When you take the time to do this, it really makes your lead vocals stand out in the mix. Welcome back, y'all. Let's go ahead and jump in here and address this lead vocal. We're going to tune individually. If you notice, my session looks a little different. I went ahead and color coded a couple things. The way you do that is you select a track stack or all of the sections of that track stack. You right click and you say assign track color. We'll just do purple, and then we'll go in here, select all of the tracks regarding that track stack, say color regions by tracks. Now all these guys are purple, and you can tell the difference between your lead vocal, your music, and your BGVs. Let's do that again. We'll color these, and we'll say assign track color, and we'll do green, and then select all of these guys and color regions by track. Obviously doesn't do anything towards the sound. It's just more of a visual thing as you're working. And working with a lot of vocals, you want to make sure that things are color coded and have labels that go accordingly to keep your sessions tidy. With the more tracks that you add in, you're going to appreciate that you have done that. So let's go ahead and move into tuning this vocal. You'll notice I flew some of the background parts to each chorus. Once you nail it on chorus 1, usually they fly to chorus 2, and if there's a lyric change, which there was, I went ahead and put the new parts in right here. All these background vocals are flown where they're supposed to be throughout the song, and really all that I'm lacking is just tuning my lead vocal to that professional quality. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I don't have any plugins on this track. Let's go ahead and start with Melodyne.
Ain't no turning around. Remember, that's what you told me. How could I let you down? Like you don't even know me. Ain't no reason to rhyme. It's like the harder that I try not to. I'm probably thinking about you. Probably wishing you were someone thinking.
Now let's go ahead and zero in and tune that. You'll notice I also trimmed up and cut off the ending where it was overlapping into this phrase. I went ahead and marqueed it, deleted it, and I think I bounced and placed it. That's what made it a continuous audio file there. But if y'all remember where I had an overlapping vocal there, that was just for the vibe of getting the vocal in there. I no longer needed that, so I deleted it.
Ain't no turning around. Remember, that's what you told me.
I like to just separate the notes to where you think
No turning around.
where you think that they want to be. See, this drops here, so I would definitely separate it right here, and that will drop down. And I double clicked on this pitch tool, and that's not what you want to do. Listen to what it sounds like. It's way too straight. So let's double click it. That's what it is originally. And on that pitch tool, you can just straighten it out just a hair, where it sounds natural but in tune.
How could I let you down?
And I kind of like the flutter in the vocal there, but we'll go ahead and do some note separation. We'll pull this down, select all, do pitch modulation, or the pitch tool.
Could I let you down? Like you don't even know me. Ain't no reason to rhyme. It's like the harder that I try not to. I'm probably thinking about you.
Awesome, that sounds great. Let's go ahead and go to verse 2. Do a transfer, open Melodyne, hit transfer, spacebar.
So I get fading away to forget what I ruined. Some things never change. So you know what I'm doing, probably thinking about you. Probably wishing you were someone. You know what I'm doing. Know what I'm doing, probably thinking about you.
A little bit of note separation here.
Thinking about you.
And notice I'm just zeroing in on the treble areas. I'm not feeling committed to tune every single word of the verse. I just want to only hit the parts that stick out to me.
So I get fading away to forget what I ruined. Some things never change. So you know what I'm doing, probably know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing, know what I'm doing. Probably thinking about you, probably thinking about you. Probably wishing you were someone thinking about me.
All right, that's sounding great. That was the verse, so let's go ahead and grab this bridge vocal. I'll add another instance of Melodyne. Transfer, spacebar.
Right now I'm thinking about you. First thing in the morning, straight into the afternoon. Thinking about you, baby, it's all I ever do. Man, we used to be so good, so good. Right now I'm thinking about that way you used to.
All right, zero in here.
Right now I'm thinking about. Right now I'm thinking about you. First thing in the morning, straight into the afternoon. Thinking about you, baby, it's all I ever do. It's all I ever do. Man, it's all I ever do.
Oh, that's terrible. Zoom into that. See what I did there? I double-clicked this pitch drift tool, and yeah, it makes it crazy. That's what it looked like naturally. Let's separate these notes.
All I ever do. Ever do. Ever do. Man, we used to be so good, so good. You, first thing in the morning, straight into the afternoon. Thinking about you, baby, it's all I ever do. Man, we used to be so good, so good. Right now I'm thinking about that way you used to kiss me when you really kissed me back.
Awesome, that sounded great. Let's go to the chorus, the main chorus vocal. Add an instance of Melodyne. Also, you guys, you'll notice that I took off most of the plugins because all I want to really hear now is the performance of the vocal and if it's in tune or not. So you can have a little bit of compression if you want to run it through some verb or delay. Just don't let that fool you on the performance and make sure that everything's in tune. So I just want to leave most of my processing towards the mixing stage, and as I edit, I will bounce these tracks in place and process the tuned audio. That's usually how I like to work. Not saying that you can't add a bunch of processing now. I just like to take it in steps and really focus on tuning the vocal right now. Let's tune this chorus vocal. I'll just let it run through on this whole clip from chorus 1, 2, and 3. Because there's different takes in each one of these choruses. I didn't fly chorus 1 to 2. I could, but I took a couple takes of chorus 2, and I like the performance just as much or better than chorus 1. So I want all different choruses to have a different delivery and variation. So let's go ahead and transfer this into Melodyne right now.
You, probably wishing you were someone thinking about me. Probably wishing we were kinda how we used to be. When we used to be so good, yeah. Probably thinking about that way you used to kiss me when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I do, cause no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you.
Awesome, that sounds good. Let me go ahead and get chorus 2 in there, and then we'll tune them all at the same time.
You, probably wishing you were someone thinking about me. Probably wishing we were kinda how we used to be. When we used to be so good, yeah. Probably thinking about that way you used to kiss me when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I do, cause no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you.
All right, and grab that last chorus.
Right now I'm thinking about that way you used to kiss me when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I do, cause no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you. I'm probably thinking about you. Yeah.
Awesome, that sounds great. So now that I've got everything transferred into Melodyne, let's go back to chorus 1, make some adjustments. I'll zoom in, so we can see what we're working with, and let it play.
You, probably wishing you were someone thinking about me. Probably wishing we were kinda how we used to be. When we.
And you can tell I'm tuning even after the pass goes. I can tell it's a little flat and I want to lift it up, and I know that the next time I'll listen back through it, it'll be good, and if not, I'll make an adjustment to it. But that's what's going on there. Instead of making an adjustment, making a tune, and then re-listening, I just kind of roll with it and try to let my gut instinct tell me if something needs addressing again.
Used to be so good, yeah. Probably thinking about that way you used to kiss me, when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, no matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you. Probably thinking about you. I'm probably thinking about you.
Killer. It's chorus 1, let's go to chorus 2.
You probably wishing you were someone thinking about me. Probably wishing we were kind of how we used to be, when we used to be so good. When we used to be so good, so good.
And I'm not making major adjustments here. I'm just pulling the words that are sticking out to me that need addressing, or that I see that it looks a little crazy, then I'll listen hard.
Good, so good.
See, that sounds fine. That good sounds fine, even though it's a little wild here. You don't want to straighten out everything and make it, you know, super robotic.
Good, so good.
That sounds too robotic, so I'll just undo that and leave it more natural.
Be so good, yeah.
Even though it kind of gets sharp there, that's fine.
Good.
It's not noticeably too sharp. Let's go to that last chorus. And I'm not going back and listening all the way through each chorus, because we'll do that here in a second. And then I'll catch any other notes that stick out. Let's just keep rolling and adjusting the notes that immediately we hear that need addressing.
Right now I'm thinking about that way you used to kiss me, when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you. I'm probably thinking about you. Yeah.
All right. Now that I got everything tuned like I think I like it, let's go ahead and go to chorus 1 and listen down. Make sure everything sounds good in the mix.
You probably wishing you were someone thinking about me. Probably wishing we were kind of how we used to be, when we used to be so good, yeah. Probably thinking about that way you used to kiss me, when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you.
Awesome. That chorus sounded pretty solid. Let's go to chorus 2.
You probably wishing you were someone thinking about me. Probably wishing we were kind of how we used to be, when we used to be so good, yeah. Probably thinking about that way you used to kiss me, when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you.
Awesome. Let's listen to that last chorus.
Right now I'm thinking about that way you used to kiss me, when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you. I'm probably thinking about you. About you. Yeah.
All right, that sounds great. So now that I have an overall Melodyne tune on each one of these individual tracks, I still would like to apply the auto-tune. Earlier in this session, I was setting my auto-tune to the key of F. That's not the right key. Even though it made sense for the notes that it was using in the performance, the right key of this is B flat. So that was a mistake on my part, but I wanted to roll with it and show you guys that sometimes auto-tune can be deceiving. It is tuning your notes, but it's not the right chord note. And I could tell because I listened to that higher harmony. Let me pull it up here.
You were someone thinking about me, probably.
So especially on that me, whenever it was set to F, it was pulling it somewhere that's not right. So we're going to set this to B flat and listen how it sounds.
I'll be wishing we were kind of how we used to be, when we used to be so good, yeah.
That's for sure 100% the right key. I should have checked that earlier, but let's just roll with it. We'll just change all of our plugins that auto-tune is applied to, make sure that it's set to B flat, and then I'll just copy and drag to all the tracks that I know that I want that auto-tune on. And I'll just double check that it is the right key, B flat, major, alto, perfect. All right, now that I've got a little bit of auto-tune on my backgrounds, we got our Melodyne lead. This vocal's starting to sound great. I might even try to pull some doubles for this chorus. And that's another reason why you want to get your vocals to where I'm going to go ahead, bring this vocal back here. That's why you always want to save a copy of your vocals. And I'm actually going to duplicate this and say vocal double. That's not how you spell double. And I'll drag these two choruses down. I'm not using this comp. I just want to show you guys what happens here. So as I unmute these, I can tell the parts that I've already used in my chorus comp. And you don't want to use those for a double. You want to use an alternate take. I'm going to listen soloed vocal of the chorus and see if I can find some doubles that increase that same energy. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
You probably wishing you were someone thinking about me, probably wishing we were kind of how we used to be, when we used to be so good, so good.
You can hear it kind of get filtery when it is the same take. So I'm trying to make sure it doesn't sound like that.
So good, yeah. Probably thinking about that.
On that, you heard that?
Probably thinking about that. Way you used to kiss me. Way you used to kiss me when you really kissed me back. Girl, there ain't no way that. Girl, there ain't no way that I'm forgetting that. It doesn't matter what I. Doesn't matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, 'cause no matter what I do, I'm probably thinking about you. Probably thinking about you.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and add some auto-tune to that double. Make sure it's set in the right key this time, which is B flat.
Probably wishing we were kind of how we used to be, when we used to be so good, yeah. Probably thinking about that.
And on this vocal double, it's not going to be hot in the mix. It's just going to be something that adds energy to the chorus, because we still want to hear that lead vocal nice and loud. So this is what they all sound like together. I'll get rid of this extra that we brought down for this double's sake. Show you what this whole thing sounds like right now. I know I don't need the front of this, so I'll go ahead and delete this. And I'll flatten and merge this. So that commits my double. Let's give it a listen.
Probably wishing you were someone thinking about me. Probably wishing we were kind of how we used to be, when we used to be so good.
So that's one lead vocal and one double right up the middle. No kinds of crazy processing, just as locked in as I can be on the delivery of the performance.
Probably wishing you were someone thinking about me. Probably wishing we were kind of how we used to be, when we used to be so good, yeah. Probably thinking about that. Way
think that sounds great. We're going to dive into mixing this vocal even more, but I'm super happy with the layout, the performance of what I did with the BGVs. We doubled that low part where it punches on those certain words. We have that consistent high BGV that's running all throughout. Now that I got the auto-tune set correct, everything is just meshing together perfectly. I'm loving where this is headed. So let's check out a mix on this vocal.